Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. You already know I'm your host. You already know with the most, Fred Whitlow II, a.k.a. Minister Fred 2. Don't call me Junior. Man, listen, this show today, and if you're on the other side of the world, this show tonight is amazingly great. First of all, I want to say Happy New Year's to you all. Hope you have had a great start of a new year. Secondly, I want to tell you that if you are dealing with trauma, if you have ever thought you're in this thing by yourself, let me tell you something. You're not. In fact, we're going to talk about how scars can find themselves to be beautiful. If you are in a situation and you're listening and watching me right now and you're like, man, it just seems like it's not getting better, this show is for you. All right, so what we're going to do now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to this song by my homie. We talked a few weeks back. It's the legendary gospel gangster, Chili Baby. And he's rocking out this song. It's called Yo, man. So, yo, listen, yo. It's not going to get worse. And if it gets worse, it's going to get better. We'll be right back. You already know the session. And I'll introduce you to my two guests. Peace.
Yo. Yeah, Jeff.
Around heat, cause when I start preaching the gospel, they frown, cease around me. Lock on the word like a pit bull. Feed my spirit, praise and worship till I get full. No joke, relax, jacuzzi, I go so. With the adventures on my brain so I don't go broke. Treat me like the homie when you see me, I'm your folks. Shooting off scriptures like a 4/5, that's most smoke. Yo.
Loving our God, but I gotta keep it sporty while he's knocking these walls down like we in Jericho. G. None but serving his temple, not let it cleanse you out. Like when your water's cut off, but you made it through the drought. So forgive me, my time to confess. I'm only cut from that cloth they always have me dressed in. So when I'm stepping, it's a new creature. So don't get blinded by the new features. We grip that, then spit that raw. We heard a couple of flows who wanna swim with jaws. Cause I track kinetically, my flows in amazement. Not even these vegans can find a replacement. But thank God nobody got hit or got pinched or got Bible to grip with all these scriptures that hit we got. Just a few trying to get on the flip with a few lines that me and Chili Baby been through.
When I walk up, I'm a street apostle. Giving me the mic, so I tell them that you save me. Locked up, had to bleed the block up. Said I had to stop, cause where you wanna take me? Matter what the people say, Jesus say, believe his name. You will never be the same. He can change anything.
Yo. This is his time. Yo.
Wow, welcome back to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. You already know this is a new year. It's on and popping. Your host, Minister Fred, too. I know I'm animated. I had some candy. Forgive me, but it's the new year. So, first of all, I want to say thank you for taking time to tune in. I hope you enjoyed that song. Let me tell you something. You talking about Chili Baby and you talking about Rise, Judah. Amazing song. In the building today, in the studio, let me just get it right in. Is two of my homies. These guys are amazing gentlemen. You'll understand why. And like I said on the front end, it's really about transformative work. So without any further ado, I'm going to start with the gentleman to my left, your right. It is Mr. Tony Jones. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Glad to be here.
You glad to be here? You sure?
I really am.
Uh,
Blessed. Glad to know you.
Glad to know you too. And then also my far left, you are looking directly in the screen, obviously, is my man, the Honorable. You always laugh when I do that. The Honorable Brian Keith Anderson. What's up, fam?
My brother from another mother. I'm excited to be here, Doc. Let's get this thing going.
All right, so let's talk about it. So whenever we have our special guests, especially in-studio guests, you all are kicking off the new year. So, this is a serious situation. Whoever gets the first spot in the new year on the new staging is a real situation. So I want to do the first thing because I want you all to get to know my guests and my friends. And thank you for tuning in. So I want 3 fun facts about you outside what we're going to talk about, but just 3 fun facts about you. So after this interview, this conversation, this show, they're going to be like, oh man, when they see me, like, man, hey, Tony, I didn't know, man. Do you like to? Oh, man, we need to get together. We need to, how it goes. All right. So 3 fun facts, my man. What's going on, Tony?
Hey, 3 fun facts about myself. First of all, I love God. I love people. I'm a big car fanatic. I love drag racing. I love RVing, camping, and just enjoying the day and being thankful that God brought me to where I am.
Wow. I love that. All right. Mr. BK, Brian Keith Anderson. Y'all got that right.
Listen, man, I love singing. I love the fact of using my voice to sing praises to God, man. I actually sung for Fantasia Barrino one night, man. It was one of my highlights of my life. Love singing, man. I love praising God. God is an amazing entity and part of my life. And I love service to others, man. I get up in the morning ready to run, serve.
What I'm excited about this show, and is first I want to say thank you guys, and you'll understand more in detail why this is such an important conversation and time together. So everyone has a backstory, but before we get to the backstory about both of you all, I gotta ask the question: do you have? In fact, I'm pretty sure you do, but I would like for you to share with our viewers and our listeners on the podcast side. I would like for you to share your favorite scripture or you may have a favorite quote that you live by. Tony?
My favorite scripture is Exodus. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, because after 5 days of grinding and just getting it in, you look forward to that day of rest. And that has always been my favorite scripture, because when the weekend comes, I'm ready to get in lazy mode.
And I think that's really interesting because we talked offline about the beauty of rest and regenerating, And for you mentioned that you love the Sabbath, the biblical perspective and the biblical Sabbath, because it's rejuvenating. Could you share that in a little bit more detail to my folks?
Right. When you wind up all week, day after day after day, your body needs to regenerate. That's why the Lord made the Sabbath day, and He rested on it, and He housed it, because your body must get rest. When you go 24/7, 7 days a week, eventually you're gonna run out of gas.
You're right.
And mentally you get down and out. You get irritable. A lot of us are not eating right now because we're in such a fast pace. So it's really important that you rejuvenate and get your rest, as Mr. Fred was saying.
For sure. Now, Brian Keith, what's your take on your either favorite scripture and or if you have a quote you live by. Share with my people, man.
The quote that I love and that I live by was made famous by Martin Luther King Jr. If I could help somebody as I travel on, if I could cheer somebody with a word or song, if I could show somebody he's traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. If I could do my duty as a Christian ought, if I could show salvation to a world once wrought, if I could spread the word as the Master taught, then my living will not be in vain.
Wow. Well, you sound like you, Dr. King's brother. And I was like, okay. If I was a 5-year-old, 10-year-old in class, I'd be like, yo, Dr. King's cousin. No, but I think that's a beautiful thing. It is at the end of the day. I think what's important about this conversation, and I want to share this with my folk, what's really important about this conversation is that at the end of the day, we are hopeful that you will have those things that you need to become transformative. It talks about trauma. And when we talk about dealing with stressors that literally impact how we move our entire life. I want to talk about the backstory a little bit, just a little bit. We'll come back before we do this song. But let me ask a question. Why are you so passionate about helping people understand their trauma and understand the beauty that can come from it? Brian.
It comes from a personal experience, Brad. Once again, I've had all types of traumas that happened, especially early on in my life. And it took a man that had been through some of the same things that I had been through to finally me see that ray of hope in the future for myself, saying that if he could do it, maybe it's possible for me. So I know the effects of trauma. Once again, I've experienced it. And I also know the beauty of being able to get through it by hearing somebody else's story.
Wow. Tony?
My passion for this is because, as you could see, at the age of 3 years old, 1965, I was in a house fire.
Wow.
And I had so many supporters and people that prayed for me that I felt like that I need to try to tell my story to just encourage someone else and give them hope that regardless of whether it's a small thing or a traumatic, large thing that happens to you, you can still overcome it, you know. And throughout from 1965 to 1981, I had surgery sometimes twice a year, sometimes
Wow.
3 times a year.
Wow.
And through this whole process, I never gave up, never contemplated suicide or any of those things, you know. And you know, you have people now that commit suicide over the way they look, or you know, things over social media. And our main purpose is to let people know that there is hope. There's means of getting help. You know, we can provide the information that you need, and it's just let people know that everybody's going through a struggle, and don't ever feel like you're alone. There's always
Wow.
someone that can help.
All right. So listen, I've told you all this is going to be an amazing conversation. Professor X, let's go to the song by Bizzle. The label is God Over Money. Bizzle is one of my favorite MCs, and he did a song called Monster. And the concept is ingenious, but it's very, very, very impactful. So check out this video. We will be right back. We're going to dig now a little deeper into the backstory of each of you, because we just gave you a little glaze, like you put glaze on the cake. Now we're going to allow you to cut the cake and see how tasty and delicious it is, even though it takes a while to make a cake that good. We'll be right back. Bizzle, Monster.
Okay, let's begin.
I had a dream I was living in a crib just like this one. Same wife, different children, and it looks just like home, but feels like I'm visiting. I really can't tell if it's real or I'm tripping. As I venture into the kitchen, there's two chicks whispering. Figured they was friends with the wife as they kicking it. I see them both giggling. The laughs get louder, and as I begin listening, it's clear that they dissing them. Either you drunk, pissing you off, piff, or belligerent, and must not remember who kitchen it is you sitting in. Don't never disrespect my queen. You gotta get up and hit it before I really get pissed and start flipping. And before I can get rid of them, one of them said, listen, we'll leave, but in a minute, believe us, we'll be here again. We got permission from the guy that you're living with. What guy? Your friend upstairs with the lizard skin. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you. From the monster. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you from the monster. So I hit the stairs, running fast, gun in hand, stopping through the house, looking for this man. Busting in the kids' room, well, they my kids, but they not my kids. That's the part that I don't understand. And I ain't mentioned anything from the kitchen. I just asked if any strangers came here to visit. They pointed at this drawing that they made, and this picture was a lady and some man with a face like a lizard. They laughing as I notice they hands hitting behind they back, and it was something black in it. I tell them to let me see. As I take a look closer, it's a voodoo doll of my wife with needles all over. And now I'm tripping, asking them where they get it and what are they doing with it, but all they doing is grinning. They looked at me and said, Dad, quit tripping. The monster inside y'all's room gave us permission. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you from the monster. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you from the monster. So I run up in our room and I see this man. He's standing over my wife and she bleeding bad. I pull a gun out to squeeze, but this thing is jammed. So I swing, but it's so slow I can't even land. I step around and I see his hand. It got my wife's heart in it and it's beating fast. She got tears running all down her cheek, but she keeps smiling though. You would think she ain't even mad. This dude got a hoodie on, I can't see his face. I'm just trying to figure if he a lizard or he a snake. Is it what the chick explained? Is it who the kids were saying? Giving everybody permission to cause my missus pain. He yelled something and it sounded like hypocrite. Except he ain't say it, he was hissing it. I asked him his name, he replied, Mark. Then he looked up, in his face, it was mine. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you from the monster. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you from the monster. I wake up and it's a chick laying next to me, but it's not my wife laying in the bed with me. Tears in my eyes and this dream got me dying inside, cause now I finally realized what it was telling me. The two women in the kitchen, they were dissing, cause the way that I was living had given them that permission. And now I wanna flex with words and check forward, but my actions is why they was losing respect forward. And them kids that I didn't recognize at first, see, they really were my kids, just not with her. And the doll with all the needles inside of her represents the betrayal they'd always be a reminder of. See, I was running around trying to be the hero, but the monster with her heart in his hand was me though. I know you never let anybody hurt her, bro, but don't forget you in the position to hurt her most. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you from the monster.
Wow, welcome back, welcome back. Listen, what do you think about that video, Doc?
Man, fire. fire. I felt that one. The
And
core.
and it's so deep when you think about how trauma, oh my goodness, how trauma can be as close as you are to yourself or to someone else. Let's talk about your backstory because you talked about you had been through things. For those that are listening, this is a very very transparent show conversation, but I think it's important that he shares about it. So let's talk about as a child the trauma that you mentioned prior to the video by Bizzle.
Absolutely, and I'm going to give you my elevator spill so we can move forward. From the age of 5, my father stole me and my 2 older brothers away. I was 5, my other brother was 7, my other brother was 9. He stole us away from Jersey City, New Jersey, and we were homeless, hungry, sleeping in a car, and not knowing where our next meal was going to come from. 2 years of that went on, and then our family took us in off of the road. This family had an older daughter. His older daughter took a liking to me at 7 years old.
Wow.
She took such a liking to me that she started to molest me almost on a daily basis. Something broke my little fragile mind at the age of 7. Self-hatred kicked in, dyslexia kicked in because of the trauma that I had been
Wow.
experiencing in my life. Years of homelessness after that turned into drug addiction at the age of 17. Full-fledged drug addict at the age of 19. First suicide attempt at the age of 19, the end of 19. 3 times jail from the age of 20 to 24. Second suicide attempt at the age of 25. Locked down inpatient treatment for 28 days at that same age. And then my life took a turn for the better. But I had to give you the poison in order to get to the medicine.
You know, statistically, Tony, we were talking about the impact of suicide as a result of trauma. Would you share that and then tell a little bit about your, talk briefly on the front end, but let's talk a little bit more in detail. So when they talk about all the surgeries, what were you really referring to?
Back to the surgeries. As a child, to actually have to go through surgery after surgery after surgery, it was different. Like I said, I didn't get the chance to live a normal childhood, but on the other hand, it was still normal to a point. But you lose so much of your childhood because every summer you are sitting on the porch where you can't get out and play with the rest of the kids. And as you start to get older, you start to ask yourself, why me? But I had such a support system within the community and the church there at Oakwood that people were constantly praying for you and pushing you and telling you can do it, that I never told myself I can't do it because, the doctor was saying you're not going to be able to do this, and you're not going to be able to play sports. But I was saying, hey, I'm going to do this. I had to learn how to use my hands over again. I had to have skin grafts to separate my fingers, everything that they told me that I was not going to be able to do, I was able to do it. And the reason I know I'm a blessing from God to still be here is because when the accident actually happened, they had already called me. One of the nurses fell behind and said, hey, I feel a pulse. He's still alive. So they went back, worked on me, brought me back, and
Wow.
sent me out to San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
And from there, that's when the surgery started. I stayed out there 11 months. But like I said, I never got down on myself. I had a drive that I didn't know at the time where that drive came from. But as I got older, I knew it wasn't nothing but God. And so that's my passion for this thing. And Beautiful Scars is to let people know that there is hope.
Wow.
There's always hope. So don't ever give up.
I had chills when you said that, man. You were like, there's always hope in the midst of darkness. There's hope. There's redemption. There's the ability to bounce back. So let me ask this question, and this is not something that I pre-planned. For you, Beautiful Scars is the name of their organization. Why did you come up with that name? Because you are the founder and executive director, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So let's talk about that, because I think it's a great segue, not just because of what Tony said, but because of the redemptive factor in the midst of so much trauma. There are people listening and watching right now that are like, man, I have not seen a rainbow in a very long time. I don't even know why we even need to even desire for better. Speak to that, man. Seriously.
Every last human being on this planet that suffers some type of traumas in their lifetime. All of us. And those traumas turned into wounds. And as you know, a wound stays open and bloody and pulsy and gets infected. And we carry that into our adulthood. So that's what I did. But after going through all that I went, coming out of treatment, learning about my disorder, my mental illness and addictive disease, my wound started to heal.
Wow.
Started to heal. And as they healed, man, those wounds turned into scars.
Yes, sir.
And man, now when I start to give back this word that there's hope, those things become beautiful. And now I put the two together, beautiful scars, because they are no longer bleeding. They are no longer pulsing.
Come on
They
now.
have healed, and now they are beautiful because I'm giving back to that thing that almost took my life.
So, what makes the scar itself beautiful? Because when you look at a scar, a very, very riveting scar, what makes it beautiful? Tony, talk about that.
Well, what makes it beautiful to me is, let me tell you a quick story about.
I'm fine. Yeah, that's what we hear.
About my scars.
Come on now.
And
We
I
here.
told Keith about this. We was in Atlanta 2 or 3 months ago, and we were sitting there talking, and we was talking about the program and everything. And I said, Keith, man, I said, let me tell you something. I said, it's funny that we reconnected because, long story short, we met in 1972 as kids.
Okay.
At Oakwood University, like I said, and we separated for a lot of years, and then a friend of ours passed, and we reconnected at the funeral, and he was telling me about the program. Well, we were sitting there talking and got to talk about the name and everything. I said, well, Keith, let me tell you this. I said, it's funny how you came up with this name of Beautiful Scars. I said, and my grandmother told me when I was a child that my scars were going to be beautiful. And I'm going to tell you why she said that. She used to rub me down every day with Vaseline, the old school Vaseline. So I asked her one day, I said, Grandma, I said, why are you doing this every day? She said, because we're going to make these scars beautiful.
Woo!
And
That's old school too. For
you know,
real.
she said we're gonna make these scars beautiful, and that always stuck with me. You know, so when I look in the mirror, I always looked in the mirror. I didn't see the scar. I would tell myself, as Keith would always say, I am somebody. You know.
Wow.
So, you know, and I try to let people know. I don't come at them and say, well, hey, look, you don't know anything about pain. I've been through pain. I don't go at them like that, because you could have just a little teensy weensy something that happened in your life that could impact you for the rest of your life. It may, you know, you might not have had to go through the trauma that I went through. So you have to be understanding and realize that everybody's problem is an issue. It's important that they work it out and try to figure it out. You know, one of the biggest things is people hold stuff in, they don't talk.
Right.
They don't know who to talk to. They lose trust in people. You know, and that's what we try to do, is gain your trust, let you know that what you talk to us about is confidential.
Yeah.
We're going to get you some help to the best of our ability, and we just go from there. And you know, we might not be able to save 99 of those sheep, but we're going to try to get one.
You know, there's a song by Dax. He's the Canadian rapper. Is very well received, very popular. Has a very eclectic sound. He does hip hop, but with a little folk and Christian, and it still has that country vibe. He has a song called "To Be a Man," and I'm listening to you, and I'm going, "Wow, Professor X, I think that's the song we need to play in this moment, because you've been through a lot, and still, by the grace of God and the hard work, because grace plus effort brings about beautiful outcomes, and in this case, beautiful scars." So let's go to this song. When we come back, I would like to talk now more in depth about the organization from the mission and the vision perspective, and then let's talk about some of the programs. I think that's important too. So we'll be right back. I'm here with my man, Brian Keith Anderson. I'm going to say it all the time. It's on the screen. You already know the business. And the ride or die, you already know. Tony Jones with Beautiful Scars. We'll be right back. Let's hit him with it, man. Give it to him. Shout out to my man, Professor X. Let's rock.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
Being a man is what you make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations. As a good man, do what he should, man. I'll give everything he has and do everything he could, man. You might find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home. And that's what my daddy told me, and I'll tell my son the same. Now that I'm older, I relate and I actually feel his pain. He never cried, he might have lied, but he did not complain. And he said, son, one day you'll have to do the same. I get emotional when I stop and think and I look around beyond the county lines of my small town. I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make a sound.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they can't express. They go to war, get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health, then grab that bottle and ask for help, try to pull themselves out of hell, then fall back down and then realize that they're gonna have to do it themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die, and that's when they start crying. Then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves. We can't hide ourselves. We don't expect you to understand. We just hope we can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and you don't care about what we know. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that home. That home. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that home.
The No More Dirty TV show, hosted by Minister Fred 2, airing the cleanest and dopest music videos in the industry every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the No More Dirty Inc. YouTube channel. We got clean, positive Christian hip-hop and urban music for your viewing and listening pleasure. We also have music video exclusives, interviews, cyclists, life lessons, and more. Make sure to follow us at Minister Fred 2, at No More Dirty Inc., and at No More Dirty Radio Show. For more information, email us at info@nomoredirty.org or call 256-698-9749. The No
Man, listen, this program has definitely touched me. I know that it's touching these young folks. I believe that these kids need people to have a mentor. They need testimonies because, you know, sometimes they don't think that people are going through the same thing that they're going through. And it touched me personally because I've also dealt with trauma, and I've also felt like I was the only person in my own situation. So just being in this program, just listening, reminded me of who I can be, and that my situation does not, it does not determine who I'm going to be in the future.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, sis. God bless you.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the session. Be Bible Beats and Bars with our special guests, Brian Keith Anderson and Tony Jones. So listen, that little impromptu live with the young lady spoke volumes to, I know, to not just myself, but to anyone and everyone that's listening, viewing it, heard it, was impacted by it. Beautiful Scars. Let's talk about the organization. You talked about wanting to heal. So let's do it this way. Why are you so passionate about? What caused you to do it? Create it, one. And then let's talk about the mission and vision, first and foremost.
Once again, there was a need there. When I was going through my struggle, I grew up in the church. When I was going through my struggles, I heard, pray on it, brother. Everything going to be all right. I heard, pray on it. Everything going to be all right. But no one was there to actually do the footwork. Then I ran across this quote from Frederick Douglass that said, I prayed for 20 years and received no answer until I started praying with my legs.
Ooh.
That thing resonated with me because I believe in prayer, but I had to get up off my knees and go do something about it. So Beautiful Scars, that getting up off your knees and going to do something about it. And we're out here doing something about it. There's the voice in the wilderness, as the preachers would say, it's crying out, saying that there is a way. Our vision, bring hope to the hopeless, encourage the discouraged, and show people that there is a way out of nowhere to make it.
So then the mission, what is your mission? Given that is your montage or that moves you and is given life to the organization.
Our mission is to bring this message to the world, to all of those, whether it be in church or out of church, to let them know that there's no shame. There's a stigma attached to mental illness and addictive disease. Everybody that's going through scars, whether it be mentally, physically, or spiritually, or whatever, we're here to let the world know that there's no shame. There's no shame in telling the world what you've been through, because once again, you're a believer in the word like I am. The Bible is filled with people that have made it through, stories of people that have made it through. Why have we stopped telling our story? Why have we stopped? If I can share this real quick interjection.
We're good.
When I wrote my first book, Beautiful Scars, My Journey to Wholeness and Healing, my father got a copy before I let it go public. He called me on the phone and he said, listen, man, I don't know if that book should be published, man. The preacher, my father was the preacher by then.
Right.
He said, man, my preacher buddies, they don't know about our past, man. Your sisters may get embarrassed about it. And I said this to my father. I said, Bob, you get up in the pulpit and you pray, and you preach about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, how they were thrown in the fire, and somehow God stepped in. The audience stands to their feet and start applauding. I said, Pop, when you talk about David, now he made it through. The audience stands to their feet and start applauding. I said, Pop, you know what makes me stand to my feet and shout and applaud? He said, what, son? I said, our story, how we made it through, how we made it over.
Wow.
My father got silent on the phone, and he said, go ahead and put your book out, man. It is important to tell that story, my brother. We've got to tell the story of how God brought us through as well.
And historically, one of the major deafening realities is that we don't celebrate our victories and our abilities where we've overcome. We as a people, especially black people and brown people, have all been impacted from the time we were brought here on this continent and around the world, who took lessons in enslavement. And yet we are here standing today, technology, streaming worldwide, entrepreneurs, overcomers, facilitators, authors, and writers. And here we are. And if we don't celebrate and tell the story, it will never be heard. And in our communities of lack and disenfranchised, and I say it all the time when I'm working in housing, I fight tooth and nail to the end because our kids need to hear the story. If they never knew about Dr. King, there would not be a holiday. If they did not know about Dr. Maya Angelou, they wouldn't even achieve as women of color to the highest level. Simone, in sports, how we can go on and on and on. So I totally agree with you. Tony, what's your perspective on that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you a story about how I've helped some people that I didn't even know.
Wow.
Tell you two, and make this quick.
That's fine.
About 10 years ago, I lived in a neighborhood on the north side, and I remember these three young men that used to walk up and down the street. You know, they were young. They were really, I guess, 13, 14, 15 years old, maybe.
Wow.
And about 2 years ago, well, right before COVID hit, my wife and I had went to a jazz set with my sisters, and one of the guys that was catering the food, he walked up to me and he said, "Hey man, you don't remember me, do you?" I said, "Nah, help me out." You know, so he said, "You remember when you lived on South Plymouth?" He said, "Me and my little buddies used to come and ask you about your cars all the time." You know, and I said, "Yeah, I remember you now." You know, and he said, he said, "It was because of the way you carried yourself." He said, "I used to watch you every Saturday. So you would get up and you'd be dressed up and you would always go somewhere, but we didn't know where you was going." I said, "Well, I would be going to church." And he said, "Well, I just want you to know that I used to want to be like you." He said, "Because I love the way you dress and I love the way you carried yourself." He said, "I didn't know what it was that you actually done." He said, "But I knew it had to have been something good." You know, and he said, I asked him, so what are you doing now with yourself?" He said, "Well, I'm in college."
That's
He said,
awesome.
He said, "I'm about to graduate." He
Yes,
said,
sir.
"My other two buddies," he said, they're in prison.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he said, "Thanks to you, you know," he said, "you made a good example for me." You know, and so another story is, I was at the car wash one day. Guy walked up to me. He said, "Hey, man," he said, "you don't know me." He said, "But I've been watching you, man, for several years around the city." He said, and, you know, I was having a real bad streak in my life, you know. And he said, "I used to look at you and see how you carried yourself." He said, "You was always up tempo and everything." And he said, "If that man can make it through what he went through," he said, "I don't know your story." He said, "But I know you've been through something." He said, if he can do it, then I can do it.
Mm.
You know, so these
Wow.
scars on myself has been a message without me even opening my mouth. So
Listen.
that's why I've never been bitter about it. You know, you got to take what
Come on.
what you get, and you got to roll with it.
You know, wait, we got to go to this song by Aha Gazelle, man. Shout out to my homie, man, down in New Orleans. You know, he has a song called "The Circle of Life," and it's really about what you're saying. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about the programs, and I hope this is really resonating with you all. Listen, Beautiful Scars is a reality. It is a blessing. It's probably for many of you what you need to see, hear, and get involved with. So we're gonna listen to this song, Aha Gazelle. Shout out to my man. I love his flow. He got that new sound, and he has a song called "The Circle of Life." He starts out talking about McDonald's and going to get some fries, just everyday life. So anyway, I ain't gonna tell you more. We'll be right back. Shout out to my man Professor X. When we come back, you can get the Boom Bap. Don't forget the No More Dirty TV show. We do it every Friday evening, and we also do it on Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be right back. Yep.
Sasquatch, you heard me? Yeah, with a side of fries. Huh, hold on. Cool. I need to stop overthinking, I do that a lot. I thought sentences ended with dots, but inside of my head it does not. It keep going and going and going. 24, round the clock. Say you love me, but I got some dots. Judas should have said it's always someone you'll second who end up and out. Just sit back and some popcorn and watch. It's a party, turn up for some shots. You religious, get water on rocks. Think you mastered it all cause you seen it before. I can promise you, boo, you do not have it under control. Don't you ever for 1 second think that you got it on lock. It keep going and going and going. People keep coming and leaving. One day they here, one day they not. One day your body gotta rot, and your soul gon' have to find a spot. Some of us gon' end up holy, some of us gon' end up hot. It's a lot of people gon' be shocked, y'all, and see who make it to the top. Tryna sweep around my own backyard. Perfect one thing I'm not. Think it's bad when it's worse than you thought. I didn't grow up this way, I was taught. Watching from a distance, you can never ever see it my way, cause you're not a hoe. Just a parent who gossip and talk. I need to stop overthinking, I do that a lot. I thought sentences ended with dots, but inside of my head it does not. It keep going and going and going. 24, round the clock. Say you love me, but I got some dots. Judas should have said it's always someone you'll second who end up and out. Just sit back and some popcorn and watch. It's a party, turn up for some shots. You religious, get water on rocks. Think you mastered it all cause you seen it before. I can promise you, boo, you do not have it under control. Don't you ever for 1 second think that you got it on lock. It keep going and going and going. I can't stop, I keep flowing and flowing. I got me some issues, the blood is atonement. My favorite excuse that I misuse is I'm not a pastor, I'm rhyming on beats, I'm a poet. I'm not big on drinking, but sometimes I poet. But I keep on rolling and rolling like on the third day with that angel and boulder. How's that for a stoner? I'm high, but I still can't ignore it. I do my thing, but don't post and I'm trying to promote it, cause I know the power I'm holding. That's what I say to myself, is it true or am I trying to hide it? Cause I'm scared to own it. I'm not heroic, I instantly folded, but no spot or wrinkle on none of my clothing. I caught in the moment, but somehow I still managed to get away. It's a high night Viola. Cool.
Hey, welcome back, man. Listen, I want to again say thank you guys. This is, wow, like we really doing some work. I'm your host, Fred Whitlow II, aka Minister Fred 2. Do not call me Junior. That will get you an unholy slap. I'm just kidding. It will probably. No, but anyway, we're here with my man Tony Jones and a good doctor. And in fact, what's the good news, man? What's up? What you got? What did you just get?
Listen,
the
man.
sheepskin,
Listen,
baby.
man.
The
Listen, man.
sheepskin.
Listen,
Harf, harf, harf. Tell him, man. Talk to the phone.
So, I got contacted from the college that wants to honor me with an honorary doctorate degree for the service that I have done for humanity. I need you to check this out, man. Jailbird, suicide ideation, locked up, homeless, molested. Going to be a doctor, man. And on February 17th, man. God is.
God is, brother. Listen, and again, this is not pre-programmed. This is a real situation, a real conversation we have in a real new season, a real new year. Man, I'm telling you, man, listen, if you don't get it, you still got time. They thought I was going to go negative. You still have time. If you haven't finished something that you want to start, this is the time. When you get up and you're 73 inches above ground and you're not viewed on the ground, bruh, sis, family, it's on. So let's talk about the programs. We got to talk about, just give them in a roundabout, and then I'm going to ask Professor X, as you're talking about the programs, he's going to show you, and then we're going to talk about how you can support. I got to get another video in because I got a real special one by Chili Baby and my homeboy. Back in the day, these are OGs in the hip-hop game for good and for God. They got a song called Custom Fit, but you have a custom fit program for especially people who have been through trauma and they live and they view themselves as scarred.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, brother.
And everything that I share with you, I'm certified and trained in. Peer support is one of the titles. The definition of peer support is help given to those in need by another who has gone through a similar trauma or challenge. So I'm a certified peer specialist, certified recovery educator, certified whole health and wellness coach.
All right,
What
wait, what is that? You got to talk about that.
Whole health and wellness
wellness coach. Talk about it.
Whole health. There's 3 prongs to whole health: mind, body, and spirit. We believe that if one of the entities are missing, you are not truly in whole health. You have to have a mixture of all 3 to be totally in whole health. And we are trained. And once again, this is an evidence-based practice that we're sharing. So whole health and wellness coach. I'm a mental health first aid trainer. I can train people on a mental health first aid. They will receive a certificate at the end of my training. They will be a mental health first aider at the end of my training.
Okay, stop right there. You got to give them the website. You didn't give them some savvy stuff because listen, this show here, we have professionals, organizations, nonprofits, civic organizations, private donors, as well as the general populace and people. They need to know what is the website. I'm going to ask Professor X to put the website up on the side while you share it audibly.
www.beautiful-scars.org. Once again, that's www.beautiful-scars.org.
Man. Now, so these are programs. Are there any other you want to share before we go to another break?
Absolutely. One of the most important ones, I'm trained in trauma-informed care. Why is this important? Well, we believe that from the age of birth to 18, all of us have gone through some type of trauma. And if you don't get those traumas addressed, that broken place addressed, you will be an adult bleeding. Once again, those wounds will still be open.
Wow.
You will be an adult bleeding everywhere. Now, you're wondering why you think a certain way, why you believe a certain way, why you act a certain way, because those traumas have not been addressed. So I'm trained in trauma-informed care as well. There's an ACE study. Everybody, especially in high school, the ACE study, ACE, Adverse Childhood Experience. Every one of us needs to take that test. There are 10 questions. 10 questions. ACE, Adverse Childhood Experience. They say if you answer yes to 4 out of the 10 questions, you are more prone to promiscuity. You are more prone to incarceration. You are more prone to drug addiction. You are more prone to early mortality. If you answer yes to 4 out of the 10, I took that test, Brad. I got 9 out of the 10 questions I answered yes to. I'm a walking, breathing miracle alongside my brother Tony. We're walking, breathing miracles. We ain't supposed to be here, but God.
But that goes to this song. Shout out to my homie, the original legendary gospel gangsters, Chili Baby and OG from Houston, Texas, a little rascal. They have a song called Custom Fit. You don't have to be like someone else. You don't have to live in the shadow of trauma, drama, and bleeding scars. So check out this video. Shout out to my homies. Love you. We'll be right back. Do not turn it down. We're gonna give you the final information. And you are tuned into the session, Bible Beats and Bars, with my special guests, Tony Jones and Brian Keith Anderson of Beautiful Scars. Let's do it.
Yeah. The great
super producer.
That's
Custom
right.
Fit. What's up, Rash?
What's up, Chili?
Custom Fit, baby.
Way I see it, man, we made men now.
Yes, sir.
Right. We get to do what we want.
Do what we gonna do.
We can be aggressive. You know I'm custom fit.
Yeah.
Or we can just lay back. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
As I'm creeping down the corner, it's on. Wonder if Chili Baby crip in California. Wonder if Solo up in heaven feeling blessed. Trying to get the king to return in a Tesla. Me, I'm down in Texas with the hecklers. Wonder if I'm saved cause purposely I'm reckless. Watching churches flip billions with the message. Only membership competition is the prisons. And you don't even want to know what's in them. Rather slave labor than defend them. You ninjas throw stars, here play with them. Let every other race be the working men. We don't need another hero. We want opportunities to make $1 million out of zero. No, I didn't go viral. I was too busy on my Weeble watching numbers spiral. I was a gangster and had to go legit. Once I found out I was custom fit. Was a scholar selling dope, but I had to quit. Once I found out I was custom fit. Walked around with a 9, with the blast from the hip. Until I found out I was custom fit. Yahweh made me in his image, so my life's a gift. Once I found out I was custom fit. I'm custom fit.
Back in my hood in Ontario, living in the cul-de-sac in the all-blue khaki suit. Some all-black cul-de-sacs, grab some work from the big homie and bring the moolah back. Whip it up, good delivery. Come serve you the crack. Ask my cousin Danielle and Tammy, I was true to that. When it came to squabbles, I was first to push through with that. Up early in the morning, adrenaline pumping, gang banging to the fullest, trying to get into something. Mind twisted, hope I don't die. Won't see better days unless I give my life to Christ and learn better ways. They say crime pays until we get caught and blame everybody else like it's they fault. Yahweh made you custom fit. You gotta do better. It's either stay still or stay broke. I gotta do cheddar. I've been through the storm. I can see clearly now. There's new weather. I grind for the Lord, go hard. Y'all soft as goose feathers.
I was a gangster and had to go legit. Once I found out I was custom fit. Was a scholar selling dope, but I had to quit. Once I found out I was custom fit. Walked around with a 9, with the blast from the hip. Until I found out I was custom fit. Yahweh made me in his image, so my life's a gift. Once I found out I was custom fit. I'm custom fit.
I don't wanna hit the block because I'm custom fit. I don't wanna hit the streets because I'm custom fit. I don't wanna be a part of it because I'm custom fit. I will keep you and set apart because I'm custom fit. No more.
Loyal to your name, I could never jump from both sides. Oh my, where them scissors at? Let's cut these old ties. Learn from many mistakes. Lord, I've been in the way. Forgive my venomous ways. Say that you know me, you wanna show me them beautiful days. I know you want it, I call you holy, Yahshua your name. Who can imagine or even fathom your limitless fame? Save me from valley, the deepest, darkest and alleys of shame. Lord, are you with me? These feelings vividly causing me pain. Stare out the window and blow the end up till nothing remains. Thinking this never would change. Better off settling for your peace and contentment I gain. Still in pursuit of all of the things in your word, it won't change. I must remove so many things that ain't bringing me life. What must I do? I place my faith and my trust in this too. Hoping it proves that it sustains me from making the news. I need a suit that's custom fit, but it's made by you. For real.
Once I found out I was custom fit.
I'm custom fit.
Was a scholar selling dope, but I had to quit. Once I found out I was custom fit.
I'm custom fit.
Walked around with a 9, with the blast from the hip. Until I found out I was custom fit.
I'm custom fit.
Yahweh made me in his image, so my life's a gift. Once I found out I was custom fit.
I'm custom fit.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Salute to the West Coast. Hey, it's your host, Frederick Whitlow II, a.k.a. Minister Fred 2. Don't call me Junior. That's not biblical, nor is it my name. Okay, so check it. Listen, I got to share because I do this usually on the front end, but Professor, let's put them on game. Every Friday night, this is what happens. No more dirty TV. Bam. And shout out to my man, DB Real Music, man. He's got some amazing opportunities, so he's going to be transitioning into some bigger and better things. But right now, he's still my co-host, and that's what it is. Number 2, that's every Wednesday and Friday evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Then on Saturday, you get what you get. That's my homie right there. So everybody's like, man, who's Professor X, man? That's the dude, man, from St. Louis. He's out of that Louis town. But anyway, all things considered, every Saturday we do this, like you see, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you're on travel, because you may be catching this worldwide on a Monday night, and you can always go to our YouTube channel, No More Dirty INC. Again, we're on air. This is transformative talk with a highlight and flavor of some most transformative music videos and features. And then Sunday, let's give it to him. You already know, Professor. Every Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, we hit him with the heavy, man. Shout out to Ed Gaines, G93. And you can get the app on live365.com. If you just Google G93 hip hop radio classic, it'll pop up, hit it, and play us. And you'll hear us every Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard. Then at 6 p.m. Central Standard, we rock live. We Up, baby, 103.1 FM. They have an app global as well as worldwide. We're 6 p.m. to 7. And then Monday, globally, really, actually, shout out to envision-radio.com. They are on Mondays, and it's Mondays at 4 p.m. You can't miss it because they're global, actually. And shout out to them as well, because this month, their first issue, they featured the No More Dirty Radio Show, your host, and the squad. So you see them on the screen Monday afternoons rather, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 3 p.m. Central Standard, and also 2 p.m. on the West Coast. So that's what you got. You already know the business. Go to the website, nomoredirty.org. Support, visit, invest, volunteer, and share. Listen, it's one thing to say, man, I love what you're doing, and not support. You like what we're doing, but when you love it, you invest in it. When you love it, you take the time to visit. When you love what people are doing that's transformative, then you say, listen, what can I do to not only visit, but how can I get involved and share it? So like you do for No More Dirty, I want you to do it for beautiful-scars.org. Give them the website. Let's talk about it one more time. How can they reach you all? How can they get at you? We'll throw the website up and talk to them.
That's www.beautiful-scars.org. Fred, if I can leave them with
Go
this
ahead.
one.
Yes, do that, because this is where we are.
I'm going to speak right into the camera there. Mark 11:1-4. This tells the story about when Jesus was planning his triumphant journey into Jerusalem. He told two of the disciples, go to this particular place, get this particular donkey. The donkey I want you to get, make sure it's the one that has been tied up all of its life. Make sure it's the one that has never been ridden. That means it was wild and untamed. And Jesus said this amazing thing. Now, if the people that ask you why I chose that one, you tell them I got need of it. Tied up, never been ridden, wild, untamed. I got need of that. I got need of that one. Give me some dab, brother. I got need of that one.
But wow.
I got need
no
of
one's
that.
going to be able to help that kid.
I got
that
need
dude,
of
them
that
dudes
one.
got records.
I got
Sisters
need
out there on
of
the
that
pole.
one.
We're just
I
tripping.
got need of that one is what he said. We're here to tell you, Beautiful Scars is here to tell you, whatever you've been through in life, whatever, Christ sent us here, tell you, got need.
Woo. Tony, you got anything on that, brother?
I can't top that.
Well, listen, and I'm going to tell you this, right? So let me just go ahead and drop a little bit out the bag. Beautiful Scars and No More Dirty is getting ready to partner. We have some really amazing opportunities that we are going to be doing, working with juveniles and adolescents that have gone through so much trauma. And you'll learn more about it because you'll hear more about it, that they are really those kids that they say, can any good thing come out of them? Not just in Nazareth, but in Huntsville, in Atlanta, New York, Chicago, and other places. If you are listening and you are in an organization or you're a parent or guardian and you're hearing this and you're watching it and you said, my kid is lost, you need to reach out to beautiful-scars.org or reach out to nomoredirty.org. And we have a new brand, nmdinc.org, same thing. And then ask to speak to us. Send us an email. Make sure you get in touch with us, because I'm telling you, nothing is impossible to him or her or them that believe and is willing to get up off their knees. Get up off their knees, like you said. We can pray all day, but if we just prayer only, we kill the process of prosperity and transformative life. That's a real situation. We are serious about it. People talk about it. And here's the beauty of it. And I'm going to get off this horse and we're going to ride out with Holy Gabbana because they got a song called Purpose. Until a person understands that they are worthy because they are in their very existence and that they are born with a God-ordained, preordained, but ordained in the moment to have purpose and to live it till its fullest. Until they know that, they don't understand and they're stuck in the bleeding scars. So we're speaking to your scar and saying your scar is going to be beautiful, and here's how. Reach out, make the connection. If you don't have nothing else, you don't know what else to do, ask somebody about beautiful-scars.org. You got a phone. Listen, we got all this technology. You ain't even got to ask. You just pull it up. Beautiful-scars.org. Bam. There it is. It's on the screen. That quick. Less than 2 seconds. It's on the screen. Shout out to my man, Professor X. This is how we get down. You come fool with No More Dirty, you're going to get clean up in this piece. So anyway, just want you to know that we really do care, okay? We care much more than you even imagine or believe. I'm going to pray. I'm going to ask God to do what he does best, and that is I pray every day, guys. I ask God every day to blow my mind and show me how big he is. Go ahead. You had something? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, let me say this, and we're going to wrap this thing up.
No, you go.
Don't worry about what's behind you. Worry about what's in front of you.
Come on.
And move forward, because you dwell on your past, then you're not going to open that door for the future. So just concentrate on, let's not worry about what happened yesterday. Let's worry about what's going to happen tomorrow and make it a better day.
Let me pray. So God, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for being bigger than the bleedingness and of our hearts and our scars. Thank you for being a God that hears and actually does. Now, God, because we struggle with these things called fear, the lack of resources, Lord, I've seen you give when there's nothing around. So, God, I'm asking that you would give them that inner desire, give them enough strength and ability to do differently. God, I ask that everyone that's watching, listening, viewing, will even come across beautiful scars in any and other kind of way, that you would open up the doors of opportunity. God, I thank you for the executive director and founder, Brian Keith Anderson. I thank you for his partner in this thing, executive director on this area, in this zone. I thank you for Tony Jones and his wife and their entire staff, Lord. And I ask you to put a special hedge of protection around them. I ask that you would prosper them with those type of real life, evidence-based, and financial prosperity to do even greater things. And so, Lord, as we at No More Dirty and others, we begin to partner up and we get off our knees and we thank God for the power, but help us to do the work. And we ask that those that are listening that are going through something, that you just try different. We thank you because when you make the effort to try, you begin to do. In the name of he who makes all things well, Yeshua the Christ, who is Jesus of the Bible, the healer, the physician, the great one, in his name we say thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Man, thanks again for being on the show, baby. You already know, man. You already know the business. This is how we get down. Shout out to my man, Professor X, the whole No More Dirty squad, and we're going to take you out with some Holy Gabbana. Don't forget to go to the website. Throw that up again one more time for my people, Professor. You already know the business. Contact details. The website is www.beautiful, spelled out, -scars.org. And if you can't get to them, you already know, nomoredirty.org. If you don't know that one, NMD. If you can't even spell the word, just put an N, a M, a D, a INC.org. Let's go. Hey, we'll see you next week. You already know the business. Support, and we will be in your place in a minute. Peace, peace.
Hold on, bro. Make sure we straight, bro. Bro, we good, bro. Come on, I don't even got no port. I mean, come on, what if they strapped up, bro? That's what I got this for. Look, you just get the money, I handle everything else. Come on. Bring the bread. Hey, you know what? Yo, man. Hey.
Yo, man, take that, man. Hey. Yo, what's going on, homie?
Man, I'm trying to feed your family, bro.
Yo, man, you need to leave the streets alone, man. Y'all got a better purpose for you, man.
That's all I know right now, man.
Man, he got a better purpose for you, homie. I'm telling you, man.
Y'all gonna let me go? Y'all gonna let me go?
Man, we can't do that, man. We can't do that, man. Call 12, man.
Yo, I'm calling him right now.
Well, bro, you came to the wrong spot for this shit here, bro.
Man, God ain't playing this for your life, bro.
Playing this today, bro. Yeah, we have a disturbance right here at the barbershop.
Purpose. Get one life, and I'm gonna make the best of it. In Jesus' name. My life. Live my life with a purpose. Yeah. Live my life on purpose. Gabbana. Live my life with a purpose. What? Let's go. I don't got no fear of death. I know where I'm going when I leave this body. Them drugs had me leaning, my vision was sloppy. I'm clean, I got sober, then picked up some hobbies. I made decisions that wasn't the best, but that's how it be when you live in the flesh. I'm moving forward, they keep bringing my past, so that just let me know that I'm close to success. Escape from the trap, no more days in bondage. I stand on my faith, I hold on to a promise. But sometimes I doubt, I know different from Thomas. We all do sometimes, it's okay to be honest, be real. God teach me how to be patient still. Flushed all my drugs, ain't no more popping pills. I was running the streets, I was running in krills. Felt this presence and it changed how I live.
Living my life with a purpose. Bring up my past like I'm worthless. Working these streets like a servant. Shining my light, that's my service. I'm living my life with a purpose. Bring up my past like I'm worthless. Working these streets like a servant. Shining my light, that's my service.
If you listening right now, I know you're alive, but are you living? Knock on wood. If I go today or tomorrow, don't cry for me, you better clap for me. Because y'all know DJ Shab living his life with a purpose. From chilling in the hood to taking trips out the country. One life, one purpose.
DJ Shab. They can't slow me up, I'm living out my purpose. I may still be boom, but this the godly version. Walking in the spirit, stepping on you serpents. They see Jesus in me, I make demons nervous. The girl who want the Bible, not a Birkin. We don't share beliefs, then I don't see us working. Every day Gabbana growing as a person. Came a long way, dog, I'm proud of my conversion. Used to be against the church, now I'm in service. Lifting up my hands, be giving God my worship. Give my all to Christ, my soul is not for purchase. God be blessing me on days I don't deserve it. Using my discernment, cutting out them vermins. I can't be around you demons, I'm allergic. Need my peace of mind, been giving God my burdens. Know this holy walk ain't easy, but it's worth it.
My life with a purpose. Bring up my past like I'm worthless. Working these streets like a servant. Shining my light, that's my service. I'm living my life with a purpose. Bring up my past like I'm worthless. Working these streets like a servant. Shining my light, that's my service.
Dang, bro. I told you I was gonna get caught.